G'day, your turn. How we're going? Today we've got a video on a new topic. We're going to be looking at rates and proportion in this topic. A rate is just a comparison of two different quantities measured with different units. Okay, so a classic example is speed, which is distance divided by time. Now, distance is measured in one way with a ruler or something like that, and time is measured with a clock. And you can see they're very different quantities. But to compare the two, we form a rate by dividing one quantity by the other. Okay, so we could do kilometers per hour. Okay, and the word per there means divided by. So it's the amount of distance you traveled divided by the time it took in that case to calculate the speed. Okay, you could also do meters per second. Okay, they're both ways of measuring speed with distance divided by time. Okay, so what we need to be able to do is calculate rates, okay, by doing the first quantity divided by the second. And then we also need to be able to convert between different rates. Okay, we'll get to that in a sec. So firstly, calculating a rate, a car traveled 240 kilometers in 3 hours. Calculate the rate of travel. Okay, so we want to do kilometers per hour. So that means we're going to take the kilometers value and we're going to divide it by the hours value. Okay, that's what kilometers per hour means. So we simply just go 240 kilometers, okay, divided by 3 hours, and we get 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, and we write that with that forward slash. It's kind of like a fraction, except sideways. You know, usually you write a fraction up vertically. But when we're doing units for a rate, it's 1 unit divided by the second unit, and we just write that as with that forward slash symbol, replacing the per when we're reading it out loud. So kilometers per hour is how we would read that. Okay, when converting rates, we're going to first convert the units separately, and then we're going to recalculate the rate. Okay, that's the easiest way to not get jumbled up and confused. So in this first example, so we start with liters per hour, and now we're going to convert it into liters per minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 108 liters, and then we're going to divide it by, so in this original rate, it's already been simplified. We've got 108 liters per 1 hour. Now we don't have to write 1 hour, okay? It's like a simplified fraction or simplified number where you don't have to write 3 over 1. It's the same as 3. In this case here, we can consider the per hour as per 1 hour. And so we can convert that 1 hour into 60 minutes. Okay, and then when we pop that in our calculator, 108 divided by 60, we get 1.8 liters per minute. So when you're doing it in the calculator, you can't put the units in, but you can put the numbers in. Okay, so you just put 108 for the liters, 60 for the minutes, and then you get out 1.8 liters per minute. Okay, the units are the quantities that you've divided in that order. Okay, for B, we've got to convert 108 liters into milliliters. Okay, so there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter, so it's 108,000 milliliters divided by 60 minutes. Okay, and so we pop that in our calculator. We know this is going to be this times 1,000, but let's just pop it in, 2, 3. Okay, and it's going to be 1,800 milliliters per minute. Okay, and then for C, milliliters per second, so it's going to be 108,000 milliliters. Okay, but the amount of seconds, okay, in 60 minutes, we're just going to times it by 60 again, and we get 3,600 seconds. Okay, so it's just 60 times 60, and we get 3,600. So let's just pop that in. And we get 30 milliliters per second. Okay, so you see how we've done that? We've just simply converted each of the units separately and then recalculated the rate, and voila, we get there. All right, last example here. So this time we're converting grams per mil to kilograms per liter. Okay, so we've got to think if we've got 8 grams in kilograms, okay, we've got to divide by 1,000 because we're getting bigger units. We're going to need less of them. Divide by 1,000. Okay, so we get 0.008 kilograms. And then we're going to divide it by, so from milliliters to liter, we start with 1 milliliter, and that's going to be 0.001 liters. Okay, and so when we put that in our calculator, 0.008 divided by 0.001 comes up with 8 kilograms per liter. So we end up with the same quantity. Okay, the reason is because kilograms to grams is the same as milliliters to liters. So those two conversions kind of cancel each other out. But it's worthwhile going through that process just to confirm. So all good. All right. For this one, we're going from meters per second to kilometers per hour. I'm going to show you the long way to do this, and then I'm going to show you the short way. So we've got 12 meters. If we want to make that kilometers, it's going to be 0.012. Okay, just moving that 1, 2, 3 decimal point 3 times. And then we're going to divide it by, so seconds to hours. If we have 1 second and we want to divide that by 60 and then divide by 60 again, okay, we get this sort of long number here. So the number of hours, 0.00027 repeater. We're going to just keep that number in our calculator, and we're going to go 0.012 divided by our answer. Okay, and we get 43.2 kilometers per hour. All right, so that's the sort of long way of doing it, converting from meters per second to kilometers per hour. But there's a trick way, and it's all about this number 3.6. So what I remember in my head is 36 kilometers per hour equals 10 meters per second. Okay, I just remember that conversion rate. So if you were to run the 100 meters in 10 seconds, you would be running on an average of 36 kilometers per hour. Okay, your top speed would be a bit higher than that. But I just remember those numbers there. Now, if you're converting from kilometers to hour to meters per second, okay, meters per second, the number is slightly less. You're going to divide by 3.6. Okay, so if we're going this way, we're going to divide by 3.6. If you're going from meters per second to kilometers per hour, you're going to multiply. Okay, multiply by 3.6 to get there. So if we take our original number of 12 and we times it by 3.6, okay, we get our answer 43.2. So 36 is 3.6 is our sort of magical number from meters per second to kilometers per hour. It's a fairly common conversion, so it's worthwhile knowing that one there. Alrighty, good luck with the work today, and I'll see you later.